both mourning things. I think we're both mourning entirely different things, though.
I'm very sad that the Star Wars Hotel doesn't exist anymore
Any particular reason?
because I've kind of fallen down the rabbit hole of like Jenny Nicholson again, and I watched her video and I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to go to that, but then I'm like,
But it is a scam. Or was a scam.
How
hold
could you
on,
watch that video and want to go?
because I love Star Wars.
No, you don't.
No, hold on, I do. That's the thing. Star Wars. There's no one who hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
But also, because you love Star Wars, you wanted to go to that?
Yeah, I mean, you get to live the Star Wars.
I think pretty categorically you didn't. And I think that was kind of the point of that video.
No, excuse me. I saw a thing on the internet about this the other day. Like, if you hit the button, would you live in Star Wars? People are not happy living in the Star Wars universe.
Listen,
Unless you're like a queen or a princess or something, you would easily leave the Star Wars universe to come live in ours. Like,
listen,
Well, hey,
most of the
some may
people
say
are
we're
like junk traders or slaves or soldiers. Like,
some may
who
say that we're
lives
already living in
happily
the
in
Star Wars
Star
universe.
Wars?
Whoa.
listen,
Say that again, Kev?
Some people might say we're already living in Star Wars. Whoa.
Yuck,
listen.
yuck, yuck.
The point that she brings up is all around the app, right? And the app doesn't work or whatever, right? And then which look could be right. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to use that version of it. But for anyone that doesn't know, in the Disney parks, you can download the Disney Play app, which has a bunch of different things, mainly involved around games for different parks across the whole Disney World and Disneyland. It's mainly America that they use it for. But the Star Wars land has a data pad, right? And you can use the data pad for certain things, and it is a lot of fun. But the Star Wars hotel, the Starcruiser, had its own version of it, its own like offshoot on it, and she says, "Oh, that doesn't work." And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But then she badmouths the other one, like the actual just normal data pad, which, to be honest with you, I have the most fun of. I've completed that data pad myself, and I'm like, I don't understand what you were doing, Jenny, but
Okay,
I was
all right.
having
Let
the
me let
best
me
time.
let me just
My problem is that she doesn't think it's fun. So I'm like, I don't know what you were doing. Here's the thing, Jenny's a first order person too. She always plays the Imperial side. So I mean, I'm not wrong, but in this case, we differ.
yeah, but just because someone else is in the first order doesn't make you right.
I think we're getting caught up again in the minutia. What I'm saying is, right, in the app, right, you can either be a resistance, a smuggler, or an imperial, right? The smuggler missions are very boring, right? And the resistance are head wrecking. So you're only really left with the first order. And when you complete the level, like because it's a game, the whole world is a game, you become a first order major. Just is,
Congrats.
yeah, it just is what it is. Now, with
No, it isn't what it isn't.
the real annoying part
You could be
is,
a famous like pirate for the good guys, or you could be a captain in the Resistance,
no,
or you
because
could be a Jedi, or
you
anything.
can't. No, see, that's the thing in Star Wars land, you can't be a Jedi. That's the problem with it. Like you can't. For some reason, it is very limited. Like that's the biggest issue with the Star Wars land. Like you can only do so much. You can get a lightsaber, but you're not a force wielder. Um,
Again, you're going to bat to say you want to go to the 6 grand version of this.
yeah, because you get to use a lightsaber properly. You get to use like the real lightsaber that they made, and also, it's you might get Chewbacca arrested, which looks fun.
I, I'm genuinely speechless. Like,
I
I
don't think
just,
I want to arrest Chewbacca. I don't think that is something I want to do.
I'm sorry. Are you upset that you can't pay €6,000 to go all the way to some desert in America where you
It,
get to
it,
be on not even the losing side of Star Wars, not even the evil side of Star Wars, but the second generation cosplay empire and lose there too?
Ideally, no, right? Ideally, and also Orlando's not a desert. It's right beside the MGM,
No,
the
no,
Hollywood
of
Studios.
course. Yeah, it's no, of course. Correct me. It's
It's a
swamp.
No, because a desert will be like Tatooine, and that'd be cooler.
Yeah, no, okay. Orlando at one point was a swamp, but again, we're on the minutia. So it is in the theme park. No, look, ideally I would have liked to have been like I think the major problem with the Star Cruiser was they didn't fix the time. Like the Old Republic would have been fun, even the OG trilogy would have been fun, the prequels would have been fun. But look, it's the only
Yeah,
thing that was there.
ideally, yeah, no, ideally, I think you want what a lot of people want, which was a better Star Wars hotel and not a bad one for 6 grand.
But what I'm saying is, right, either right now we have no Star Wars hotel or we had some Star Wars hotel, and
Yes,
I
you've
would
got
like
the one
some.
in France that's actually like affordable.
I know, but that you can't be the first
Bring a
order of that.
lightsaber.
What?
Bring a lightsaber to the hotel in France and, have affordable crack in the
Yeah,
Irish
see,
sense.
see, that's fair in the Irish sense. See, that's fair, but it's also just kind of like a bit of a bummer.
Well, I agree that, like, yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, I get the whole roadmap thing. You start with the sequels because then unleashing the prequel one 2 years down the line will bring in a new excitement and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But I don't consider it a huge loss either.
See, okay, the price was crazy, and again, that's the reason why I didn't do it because I could just not justify it. I mean, no one has that much money lying around. It's insane. However, um, you know, in my head, it's like the Library of Alexandria burning down was a big loss, and then like one or two rungs down from it is the Star Wars Hotel not existing anymore.
That's
No, because like the Library of Alexandria is something we'll never know what was in it. In this case, we know it was bad, and there's
But
quite a lot of evidence to support
no,
that.
see, Jenny Nicholson's video, and look, she's great. I'm a huge fan. I think we're all huge fans of her, right? But her major problem was she didn't use the app correctly. I actually have. Now look, I spend hours in the park like building up my rank and working on the app and stuff like that. I had a great time there. So I don't think she gave that a fair chance.
yeah, but
Well,
she's
see,
also one of hundreds. Like we've got there, like she's one video out of dozens who say the same thing.
But see,
and plus, like, I did VR in the Jervis Center the weekend just there, and
hmm,
they like very clearly like explained how it works and all that kind of stuff. And if I'd paid 6,000 like euro to do it, and they said, "Oh, well, you played it wrong," I wouldn't say, "Oh, I played it wrong." I'd say either it's broken or you taught me wrong.
that's
Like, I
fair.
think I think putting that on a consumer is completely wrong-headed.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I would have played it correctly. I would have had a good time.
You
I
could
think
stay home and play Star Wars Battlefront.
that's the
And
only choice
play
I
it
have now.
correctly.
That's the only choice I have now, Keen and Kev. So, it's unfortunate. It's
Oh,
unfortunate.
well,
No,
actually,
I don't think it is.
incidentally, did either of you finish the what's it called, Skeleton Crew Star Wars thing? Since we're completely off the rails topic wise.
Actually, hold on a second.
No,
Before
I
we get
didn't.
to that, right? Can I just say one thing, right? So in the Star Wars land, everything is focused around the Resistance, right? Speaking
Right.
of Skeleton Crew, like, they have Rise of the Resistance where you're helping the Resistance. You can go on the Millennium Falcon where you're doing stuff for the Resistance. I'm like, listen, I don't want to do that. Can I be a TIE fighter pilot? Can I, go and, help you lads out? No, 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 no. You can't do any of that. It's like,
Again, why are you picking the Empire?
I'm just saying
You're
because
breaking my heart here.
no,
No,
because
Dara, I think you in fact did watch Star Wars wrong.
no, I'm just saying
I, I
in
think you did watch it incorrectly.
no, right, because Disney now have a villain land, right? They're building it in the Magic Kingdom because some people just want to have the option of jumping back and forward, and for me, I'm just like that would be cool to be a TIE pilot, just to be like, hey, you get to shoot down the rebels. That'd be awesome.
Stop picking the. First of all, TIE fighters. I've played Rogue Squadron. They're bloody noisy.
They are. Isn't that cool though? And you get to have the helmet and
No,
everything. Listen,
no. If I hopped in a car and when you turn on the engine, it went all the time, I'd get out.
I'm just saying it would be nice to have the option, and unfortunately, we don't have the option, so it's just
Yeah,
a bit
but
of
you
a
just
bummer.
presented a scenario where you could have picked any Star Wars ship and you still picked TIE Fighter.
Well, that's because TIE fighters are cool. They make the cool sound.
They're boxy, they're inefficient, they're evil. I should have put that first, really.
Well, I mean, it's just a bit of technology. Technology isn't evil of itself. It's how it's used. I mean, you could be a TIE fighter pilot that like delivers food to orphan children.
Are